Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Mwape, and if you are interested in learning how I achieve this beautiful base, then just keep on watching the video. Starting off on a clean face, you're gonna want to put on your favorite skincare products. I am only using moisturizer because my skin has been having a lot of issues for the past couple months, so this is what works best for me. You can use serums. I know people like Glow Recipe, Dew Drops, whatever they're called. For me, I'm just using E45 cream on my face. This is where the magic happens. This elf primer has been a part of my routine for over a year now, almost 2 years, and when I tell you it is the best primer I've ever used, I am not playing. This is a must-have and it's only $10, so it's definitely worth every penny and it lasts a really long time. I just really like to work that into the skin. You don't need too much of this product, a few pumps just like I did. Then I just dry that down with my little fan. Before the foundation, we're going to be doing a little bit of underpainting. I like to work my bronzer into the back of my hand before I apply it on my face because it just gives a better seamless look, because the warmth from your hand really warms up the product. I like to really focus on the perimeter of my head because you will see why in a little bit. I just focus that on everywhere I want to be bronzy and kind of sculpted. I like to drag it across my whole eyelid and kind of in an upward motion to give me a more snatched look. You can be a little bit crazy with the application because everything will be fixed once we add the other products. The high points of your cheekbones, you can put that on your nose if you want to have a contoured look. It doesn't really matter how you apply it, like I said. I also put it around my mouth for that little pouty lined lip look, the jawline if you want to be a little bit snatched, and then of course I drag it down onto my neck so that it looks more seamless. You don't want to just have a little floating head on top of your neck and chest and it's like a different color. For color correction on my dark spots, I'm using this Kryolan palette. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. So you want a more orange based color when you are color correcting dark spots. Mine wasn't too orange, so I would like to use another one. I kind of had to go over and rework the product, but as you can see, I kind of did cover up the dark spots. I don't mind if they're not completely covered, just as long as the majority is. Then I go all over any other dark spot that needs to be fixed. So depending on the place of my face, I adjust how much orange I use, just because my face is not one color, so I have to kind of tweak it. Same with you. You might need to use a darker orange. Once that is done, I set everything and then we start with our foundation. This is the best foundation I've ever used. I don't know if I'm going to use a new one anytime soon. I work that into my face with my fingers first, then I kind of start to rub it in, especially my forehead. I hate a lot of product on my forehead, so I am very sparing when it comes to that. Then I just tap it into my skin. I'm kind of careful over the dark spot areas because I want to move the product around. I use this flat foundation brush. This is the best. I got it off of AliExpress. I'm obsessed with this brush for foundation. It's just the perfect angle and the perfect density. So as you can see what I was saying about the bronzer, you see the way my foundation is blending nicely into the edge of the bronzer. It's like, I prefer that than putting the foundation first then the bronzer. It just looks too gray when I do that. After that's worked in, we're going to use this sponge from Amazon. This is the first time I've used it. I've been a brush girl for the past year, so this was such a beautiful moment to come back to sponge because I haven't really loved sponges in a hot minute. But this is really nice and they're cheap too for what you get. I will link it down below. Don't forget to put on a moisturizer on your lips so that by the time you are ready for your lip stuff, they are soft. Girl, when I tell you this is the best blush I've ever used, and I've used a lot of cream blushes, for $4, Sheglam, I'm even almost out. I just ordered a new one. You can be very generous with this, and also you have a lot of wiggle time. It does not dry very quickly for me personally, so I can kind of take my time when applying it. I just really work that in to my cheeks and wherever else you may want it. Using that same Kryolan palette will be now concealing. You do not have to use this if you're a beginner because it's a bit tricky to work with creams when you don't really understand them. I love this palette. As a makeup artist, this is like, I know, a big staple in a lot of professional artist kits. So for me, this works really well. I just put that wherever I feel like I need it. So for your lids, you're not gonna put the concealer all over the lid. You're gonna put it halfway, kind of like a half moon, because as you can see, that bronzer we put earlier is still on the outer corners, and it gives you that kind of snatched siren look. So that's why I said you can be kind of crazy with the bronzer, because we kind of fixed that up. So once you're done applying your placement for your concealer, you blend that out, and do you see the instant like lift on my face? Like, it's actually kind of insane. This is why I love this brush as well for concealer, because it really blends in, but it doesn't take away the product. It really just sets it in place super well. And now I look kind of snatched. So as you can see, that's why I added the bronzer on the lids. It looks like I put shadow, but I didn't. And then for the lid, you also want to be careful. Don't drag the brush all the way to the end of your lid. Put it halfway, just like the placement was done. And as you can see, it's blended out really seamlessly. If you want to have a little brighter of an eye, you can go in with a lighter concealer. This is a very good concealer as well. It's the Nars Creamy Radiant, I believe, in ginger. And it just is the perfect like topper on your concealer. I then go in with a little more concealer on my nose, my forehead if you want. And then we just finish it off with the sponge again and blend that all out. Don't overblend, because you don't want to take off too much product. But girl, these two things, the blender and the brush, are like game changers, honestly. Even the brush alone is really great. I like to reinforce product, so now we're going in with our second round of bronzer on the back of the hand again, because we might have lost some color while putting everything on. Put that back on my forehead because I feel like I lost a bit of that. Anywhere else you feel like you may need to bronze up again, don't be afraid to go in. And then you take your sponge and look at how it blends out the edges. It literally just like melts the edges together. I then go in with another round of blush because I lost the blush again, and just tap that in. I put that on my forehead because I feel like it looks sun-kissed when I do that. We go in with a round of setting spray by Milani. And now for setting, I just like to make sure I tap out any creases before I set. Using a triangle sponge, you are going to tap that into the back of your hand with your Laura Mercier powder. This is a very finely milled powder, so you can be a little bit crazy with the amount you put on, and it's not going to look cakey. So this is my first round of powder, by the way. I like to really just tap that in, set everything in place, make sure I have no creases, nothing is wet. And we just do that on the other side as well. On my chin, by my mouth, I also put it on my forehead, just the center of my forehead. I don't reach up to the bronzer area. Just really work that in there. And then now we move on to the eyelids. I just put that all over my whole eyelid. It doesn't matter if you go over the little bronzy part, it will still shine through. This Fit Me powder I've been using for 5 years. You guys, drugstore products are where it's at. This is more of an all over face powder. I just go all over my face minus under the eyes and just tap that in there. Then we can go in with our bronzer. This is the Fenty bronzer. I like every product you see that's a powder, I tap into my hand because I don't want to put too much on my face. So I always tap into my hand to really work the product into the brush before it goes on my face. It just gives you a better application and a lot more seamless. Yeah. This Kimchi powder, let me tell you, this is my baking powder. You don't have to use this. You can actually just use the Laura Mercier as your baking powder. But when I told you, I use like 4 different powder, guys. I don't play. I then reinforce that kind of, what can you call this, that lift under the eye, just so it looks more snatched. And then this will catch any fallout from your shadow. We'll be using this Mario palette. I start off with a very similar shade to my skin tone on the eye. That will be like your transition. And you just really work that in there. This is a very simple look. I don't go crazy with eyeshadow anymore. Then I take a darker shade compared to the first one we started with, about 2 shades darker. Focus that on the outer eyelid and then just kind of bring that in. Then we can go in with a transition shade again and just buff out anything that might have gone a little too harsh on the top of the eyeshadow. As you can see, be very light-handed here. Now we're going to be taking this cream shade, and this is going to kind of be the little brightening part of our eye. I'm only taking this halfway, same placement as the concealer, because I just want to look, you know, kind of like glowy, like I didn't put too much effort, but I did. So yeah, I also put this on the brow bone, and guys, you see the way it instantly lifts my eyes? This palette is definitely worth every penny. It's not mine, it's my sister's, but you know, I use it anytime. I then take a brown liner just to go all over my waterline so everything looks seamless. I use brown liner because I just think it complements my eyes better than black. Black is a bit too harsh. So I'll take a very chocolatey brown, reddish brown almost, and do that. Now we swipe off very lightly the baking powder. As you can see, it's just like falling off. This is why I really like this kimchi powder. It does not stick to your face like, you know, crazy. Then I'm just curling up my lashes, getting ready for mascara. I always put mascara before my lashes now. It just makes more sense. Then I like to make a little baby wing. This is going to be the guideline for my half lash because I like to lift the end of the lash to give me a more foxy look. Before I put on my lashes, I like to glue down my brows. I'm very blessed with super full brows. I haven't even filled them in. I actually just shaped them myself before this video. So I like to set my eyebrows in place before I fill them in with any sort of powder. Then while that's drying, I now go in with my powdered blush. I like to be generous with my blush only because blush, you know, it just disappears. This Juvias eyeshadow palette has been my blush palette for like 3 years now. I really should get the blush duo, but yeah, in time I will. I just put that anywhere I feel like the sun would hit. Then I can go in with my half lash. I am a half lash girly. You will not see me putting on full lashes. That's just the way I am. I love it. I like the way it complements my eyes. Now for the lips, I'm taking this NYX lip liner and I'm just lining my lips very precisely. Once I'm done, I like to kind of blend out the edges of the liner with my fingers or a brush. Now we're going to be using this Kiko lip gloss. This is my first time owning a Kiko. Girl, these glosses don't play. They are so smooth, applicator on point. I need more of these. Oh my gosh, they are just delicious. Once my eyebrows are set, I then go in with a dark brown shade that matches my brows, and I just fill in anywhere that I feel like needs to be filled in. I'm lucky, so I don't really have to do much because my eyebrows are so full. But yeah, I usually do this at the end. Of course, I do my beauty spots. These are very helpful when you've got a breakout because you can go over pimples, but yeah, I just go anywhere where I actually have a beauty spot, and I also make up beauty spots. That is my setting spray of choice, the Milani, but I didn't have it, so I had to use this Revolution one. But yeah, I just spray that all over my face, and now we're just completely done. The makeup is finished. Okay, so this is the final look. I'm really happy with how it came out. I would consider this a medium coverage just because you can still see some of my hyperpigmentation, but I don't mind that because I just don't like the way I look with so much makeup on, like caked on, especially if you're in Zambia right now. You know the way we are burning in this heat. A bunch of makeup is not ideal. I still did put on quite a bit, but like it looks like I just put on a little bit, which I personally like. If you are a full coverage girl, then maybe this isn't for you. I can make a video for you if you're interested in that. I have no problem doing that, but this is my everyday, my go-to. This is what I do when I just want a nice flawless base. So I hope you guys like this. If you want more videos like this, I'm happy to do that. Please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you in my next video.